So that Beam is a 9-month-old company. And how many people on your team again?
We're at 43.
One of the things I've noticed as you've built out your team is that you're not just hiring for your needs for today, but you're trying to anticipate and look around the corner and see what your needs in the future are going to be like. Give me an example of how you've done that.
Well, for us, because we're introducing a new form of transportation into a lot of different countries, states, and cities, that means that we have to be able to launch in any country from day one. So we've built a team that can operate in multiple countries across the board. So our policy person is someone who has operated a policy firm across APAC. Our chief business officer is a guy who has decades of experience from Yahoo and Microsoft operating across Asia. Our head of product is a guy who's launched Facebook ads across 20 plus countries. So we built a team from day one that can launch in any new country, but can also operate in multiple countries from the beginning. And that's been very helpful and critical.
And on the topic of scaling to where the puck will be and not where it is today, that strategy also shows up in the way you've hired your engineering team. And that's a problem that many founders face, especially early on in their businesses' lives in our part of the world. Give us an example of how you built out the engineering team.
That's absolutely right. The demand for top-tier engineering talent is much higher than the supply in this region. And because of that, from day one, we've had to add a lot of recruiting talent to our team to build the funnel of engineers so we can get the top-tier talent here in Singapore. On top of that, we knew that in order to scale our engineering team, we needed to go where there was a large supply of top-tier talent. And that's Bangalore. So from day one, we actually started the incorporation process and the work to build a Bangalore office, which we knew would take some time, even though we didn't know exactly when we would want to operate it. So now we're ready to go and start scaling an engineering team whenever we want.
So that's pretty cool. So you're planning for the future, not just for today. If you had to give one piece of advice to young founders who are trying to build out a team and are in the very early stages of their business, what would that advice be?
That advice would be that you should not be afraid to hire senior folks. The senior folks on our team have provided knowledge and advice that has been invaluable to us.
That's true. Hiring for experience is something that not a lot of founders focus on early in the lives of their companies. And that can really make a big difference, between hiring a young 20-something engineer and hiring a bunch of people who've been around the block and have seen this story play out a few times can really change the trajectory of a business.
That's absolutely right. A lot of people think they need to hire really young folks who are going to come in and hustle. And that's important, but there needs to be a balance between experience and hustle.
Right. And I think you guys have done a very good job of finding those people, whether it be in policy, whether it be in government relations, PR, because that's really been critical to the success of Beam so far. And I think going forward as well, it's going to be something that you're going to have to really double down on.